But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo. He's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason.
He can do what he wants, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea.
How is Crawford, his composure, going to be like the moment a punch lands on him from Canelo?
Are you kidding me? Take that question back.
Yeah, why?
Look, because you're talking about Crawford.
Yeah.
He's
But in weight classes,
he's the most composed guy. And what, you don't think he'll be prepared? You think it'll be a shock to him? No.
I think Crawford could beat Canelo Alvarez.
I think he's too small. But then again, I thought he was too small for Spence. So shows what I know.
Fighters are analyzing why Canelo Alvarez is expected to have the upper hand against Terence Crawford. Boxing legend Mike Tyson isn't convinced this is a good matchup, expressing strong doubts about Crawford's chances. He feels this fight isn't in Crawford's best interest, cautioning that facing Canelo could be a risky move with Canelo's strength, size, and non-stop pressure. Tyson sees this as a tough test for Crawford, one that might be more than he can handle.
See this, Terence Crawford, tremendous fighter. You're a big supporter of his. He wants to move up 3 weight classes and fight Canelo. What do you think?
He can do what he wants, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea. You know, I don't think, what would he have? I don't know. I just don't think it's a good idea. People have done things crazy like that before. It's just that he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to do it.
You posted the other day, there's a picture of you in a Rolls Royce, and you said, the quote is, "I can't remember how many of these I gave away." Tell me about that.
It's, I don't know. I guess wasn't used to having money. It's take what I have one. You know, you're not accustomed to that shit, man.
Yeah, but not everybody's Mike Tyson. You're very generous. You're a genuine, nice person. Tillman told me that one time you lent him his car, he kept it for like 3 months or something.
I don't know, nigga, shit. Listen, if you have money and you can't help nobody with it, what's the purpose of having it?
David Benavidez sees Canelo Alvarez as a major source of motivation. He believes the fight between Canelo and Crawford is a great matchup. Benavidez respects Canelo's skills and accomplishments, which adds to his positive view of the fight.
Like it's going to come to fruition in September. What are your thoughts on that bout?
I have nothing to say. It's a good fight. And it's a good fight. I wish both of them the best.
All right, next question over here. Do you use that for motivation at all? Like Canelo's like, you know?
I definitely do use that as motivation, because if I was such an easy fighter and target, he would have came and beat me already. Just for him not fighting me lets me know how dangerous I am.
How would you approach a fight?
Is there scissors? Is there scissors? Ask for scissors. Go ahead.
How would you approach a fight with Terence Crawford if it was you against Crawford?
To be honest with you, if I fought Terence Crawford, I would definitely use my size, my reach, my weight to my advantage. Crawford is a very smart fighter, but I guess thankfully I'm not fighting him.
Ryan Garcia highlights Canelo Alvarez's physical advantages, pointing out his strength, size, and power. He argues that these factors give Canelo a clear edge over Crawford, who is stepping up in weight. Garcia believes the size difference will be a major obstacle for Crawford, making it tough for him to deal with Canelo's physical dominance.
It's gonna be a great fight too. I can't believe they made that happen. So yeah, Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason,
Last question, Ali. He said Teofimo and Boots are going to be on your October undercard.
Oh, yeah,
and
I
the
heard
winners
that.
would fight each other. Is that what you were told?
I didn't know that, but I'm
What do you think of that?
I don't care. Let's do it. I wanted to fight Teofimo too.
The last one, I gotta do this. I agree with you that there's just like there's a lot of sanctioning bodies, there's a lot of promoters, there's gonna be more testing organizations, not just one.
100%.
Tell me about that. Why are you so adamant about that?
I think that when a coach is pushing a certain organization, it just strikes me off weird. And for it to be like a mandatory thing, like why can't I use another organization, you know? But again, I don't want to talk about them because, you know, it might sue.
Sean Porter has raised concerns about how Crawford will cope with Canelo's punching power. Given Canelo's reputation for heavy hits, Porter doubts whether Crawford can withstand that level of force, especially with the jump in weight. His concerns highlight the bigger question of whether Crawford can handle the physical challenge of facing a naturally larger fighter.
The others say like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean? So
Mikey Garcia expects Canelo to win, citing his size and power as key advantages. He believes these factors will heavily influence the fight, with Canelo's physical strength being a major deciding factor in the matchup.
I'm not even a fan of that fight. There are too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. Now, Canelo is, you know, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154, and he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164, 65, 66? Canelo ain't gonna come down to 160.
Yeah,
Canelo ain't gonna come down, you know, maybe 166 max if he accepts. I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, you know, power and size. Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter, but the difference in size will be the deciding factor, and that's why I'm not even a fan of that fight. I think Crawford has accomplished everything he had to accomplish from 140, 147, now 154. That's even greater for him. He wants to do something, collect belts at 154, he can attempt that. But there's no money in that compared to the Canelo fight. And Canelo is trying to fight other guys, and you know, at that point it's more of a big fight, you know, for the money that's gonna generate. But as a fight fan, I'm not really a fan of that matchmaking. I'd rather see Canelo move up and fight somebody like Bitterbeef or Bivol again. If he wanted to challenge himself, move up to 175 again, and challenge himself against those guys. Not a smaller guy moving up.
Roy Jones Jr. has praised Canelo's skills while recognizing Crawford's determination to challenge the best. He believes that if Crawford struggles against Canelo, it could be a major turning point in his career, considering Canelo's standing as one of the sport's elite fighters.
Canelo, that was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. Give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, you know, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight, or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What does he got to prove to Boots? Boots trying to take over and start beating the guys around him, prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He will take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go fight Benavidez next. If he don't beat him, he say, okay, I took it as high as I could go. I'm done.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if he gets the win. Like, oh my God.
Robert Garcia has analyzed the fight and leans toward Canelo winning. While he hasn't gone into deep specifics, his view matches the general consensus favoring Canelo, likely due to his size, power, and experience at higher weight classes. Garcia also believes that if Terence Crawford takes this fight, it will be mainly for the huge payday. He feels Crawford has already accomplished enough, secured his future, and leads a responsible life. However, if the fight happens, Garcia expects Crawford to be highly competitive for the first 6 to 8 rounds before Canelo starts taking over. He acknowledges Crawford's skill and strength, but believes Canelo's size and power will eventually wear him down. While Crawford might take the early rounds, Garcia ultimately sees Canelo dominating as the fight goes on.
Bet on Crawford Canelo. Canelo by knockout or Canelo by decision?
Crawford by decision. And you have to bet?
Yes.
I say Canelo by decision. Crawford by decision. No, but you say Canelo by knockout or Canelo?
Yeah, no, because I'm saying that's what's going to happen. Canelo's going to beat him. But which one?
I don't know, man. Crawford is fucking gangster. I've always been saying, I think Canelo at the end, obviously his strength, his weight,
Experience.
Everybody takes over, but shit, I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford just fucking boxes and fights smart and beats him.
He's probably gonna be 40-1 underdog or something crazy like that, right? It's not gonna be close.
Oh, it's gonna be close.
3 weight
maybe
class?
3-4-1. No crees?
Nah.
It's not gonna be that big of a difference. No.
When you pick the knockout? No, when you pick the knockout?
You pick a knockout. But if it's just
who wins straight out?
I think it's gonna be maybe 3-1, 4-1. Maybe that's too much. Maybe 2-1. Maybe 2
I don't think so.
I'm telling you.
So they finally announced Ryu's fight. Gary Russell, what do you think? Not easy fight? No easy fights at this level?
That's just...
It's gonna be, finally you guys will be, the first time you're ever going to a tank fight, right? To work a corner?
We got one at Tank's fight.
Promoter Eddie Hearn is skeptical about Crawford's chances against Canelo, pointing to the major weight difference as a key issue. He finds it remarkable that Crawford is taking on this challenge, but suggests that the size gap may be too much for him to overcome.
Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement. If you're Terence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
You know.
Gervonta Tank Davis has praised Canelo, calling him one of the top boxers of this era and a great fighter. While he hasn't directly weighed in on the outcome of the fight, Davis's respect for Canelo highlights the high esteem in which he is held within the boxing world.
He's one of the top dogs in the sport as of right now, and he's a great fighter himself, so just having somebody like him to say I'm his favorite fighter is pretty, like, touchy. I think I'm the face of boxing already. If we being real, I think I'm the face of boxing right now. I think that Canelo going out the door, all the top guys. I mean, well, Canelo probably the only one, but
Teddy Atlas has praised Canelo, highlighting his size, strength, and power as key advantages. He's a unified champion with impressive accomplishments, and facing a fighter of his caliber is a major challenge. However, Atlas also raises the question of whether Canelo can deal with a smaller, faster, and more defensive fighter. Speed, agility, and movement could play a crucial role in this fight. Canelo has shown signs of slowing down, especially as he ages, and his opponent's slick footwork and defense might cause problems. While both fighters are aging, their styles and strengths will ultimately shape the outcome. Experience, strategy, and adaptability will be critical in this matchup.
May be a done deal. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Early thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, look, the first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford. Against Madridov, people are going to say, oh, he had some hiccups. Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Madrimov was a little difficult to eat, he's not easy to digest. He's a good fighter. When you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So, come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is, but who's he beating? He unified the, what was his first division? Lightweight, then he unified the junior, then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right.
Sports commentator Stephen A. Smith has shared his thoughts on the matchup, recognizing Crawford's skill but questioning his ability to hurt Canelo. Smith believes that if Crawford can't land effective punches, Canelo will apply constant pressure, using his power advantage to dominate the fight.
I would pick Crawford to win if he can box and stay away. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. And if Canelo catches him, it could be trouble. But I would still say it would be a very interesting fight. I just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful. And I'm wondering whether he could stay away. Again, Crawford is the superior boxer. But if he can't hurt Canelo, you can't keep him off of him. and that's where the problem was.
What do you think a win like that would do for Crawford? Would that put him
I
up
think it was.
Robinson, Mayweather?
He and I spoke about it. He and I spoke about it in Vegas when the UFC event was at the Sphere. It's a fight he wants desperately. He wants badly. He says it's a legacy fight. He thinks about Tommy Hitman Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard and others moving up in weight, and he believes he can do the same, and he wants to do the same against a fight.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult has expressed doubts about Crawford's ability to handle Canelo's punches. He believes the power difference could play a major role. With Crawford possibly struggling to withstand Canelo's heavy shots, Crawford's decision to move up 3 weight classes to fight Canelo has raised concerns among many boxing professionals. Many feel that jumping several divisions to face one of the top fighters in the super middleweight class is a risky move, putting Crawford at a major disadvantage due to the significant weight gap and the challenges it brings.
A few weeks ago, you heard what Terence "Bud" Crawford had to say on why he wants to take on Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. He's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just like to, fight another great.
Which is a very noble reason. I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind. If you notice, his primary reason isn't money. He did say it'd be the biggest fight, which, you do want a big fight, but I don't think he meant monetarily, which the money comes, okay? But what he's saying is he want to test himself versus the best. And I think he's telling the truth here, right? Of course you want big money and stuff like that, but I think his swan song is just him testing himself up against the very best. Those are the reasons the war room can get behind.
Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, I always say, I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is.
Yes.
But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with Spence. He did almost look very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But
Tim Bradley offers a more positive perspective. He acknowledges Canelo's size, but believes Crawford's skills could help him win. Bradley suggests that Crawford's technical ability and smart strategy might overcome the size difference, giving him a real shot at victory, despite most opinions favoring Canelo.
Be great. That'll be 3 times. If you go 154 and win the belt, that's 3 times super. Then I said, chase super greatness. Come on, Canelo. 160.
Well, if he can get in there with Charlo in his next 2 fights where he still got age on his side, then maybe go up again. If he's trying to chase the greatness. But I mean, he already done something that's never been done. Charlo don't want none of that smoke.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but like I say, he's a weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happened.
Yeah. Alexander Usyk offers a different viewpoint. He acknowledges the widespread belief that Canelo will win, but argues that Crawford's intelligence and ring savvy could lead him to victory. Usyk believes that despite Canelo's size, Crawford's smart fighting style offers a viable path to success. The Canelo versus Crawford fight is expected to bring back the excitement of boxing's golden era. Fans and analysts are eager to see a matchup that reminds them of the days when top fighters faced off. Regardless of weight class differences, this bout is seen as a throwback to an era where skill and bravery defined the sport, sparking widespread excitement.
Between Canelo and Terence Crawford.
Yeah.
How do you see that fight? Who do you
like? Terence, it's
wow.
My friend, but it's crazy man. Listen, I say Terence win. Yes.
What? Terence win over Canelo?
Yes, Terence win. But listen, Terence is different man. Terence work in 2 stойка.
Two sides.
Two sides.
Right.
You're
And
right.
switch hitter.
Yes,
The switch
yes,
hitter.
yes.
Right and left. But it's very smart, man. It's very smart. But feel distance and place.
Adjustments.
Spacing,
Exactly.
boxing.
You don't think the weight difference will be a factor too much?
Mario, you're asking him?
That's why. That's why I'm asking exactly.
Canelo big, yeah. Canelo too. It's a good boxer, but I say Terence.
Wow.
Keyshawn Davis shared his thoughts on the fight, stating that Canelo had his time and has the ability to adjust to any style, which is part of what makes him great. Davis's comments highlight Canelo's versatility and experience, suggesting that these qualities make him a tough challenge for Crawford. While many focus on Canelo's size and power, others point to Crawford's skill and intelligence as possible equalizers.
You know what I'm saying? Floyd, it was Floyd, and then it's gonna be Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what's on the line with that fight, right? Canelo and Terence is whose era is it? Yeah. Right?
Nah.
I think Canelo had his time.
Yeah, Canelo had his time. Yeah.
Just gonna submit our time.
Yeah, for sure.
What made Bomac such a great trainer?
He can adapt to any style, bro. Like, he can adapt to any style. First of all, like DB3, we all got different styles. And he all been making this better in our own style. He got Troy Isley. Troy Isley is a different style. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, he got Avius Griffin. Avius Griffin is a different style. Of course, y'all know Jamel Herring and Terence Crawford. All different styles. And he make these fighters great. He can adapt to any style. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates. Until next time, take care and keep punching.